Hello students. So we will start with first chapter of biology, that is reproduction in lower and higher plants. So I've made some notes for you so that you can simply note down this thing in your notebook and start reading this. See now, what is reproduction? Reproduction is production of young one like parents. Reproduction is what? Production of young one like the parents. Now it is also essential process along with circulation, digestion, metabolism, excretion and respiration. Why it is essential? Because reproduction leads to continuation of species as well as maintains the continuity of life. See, these are the essential processes, okay? Digestion, metabolism, circulation, all these are essential processes. But along with these processes, reproduction is also essential because it leads to continuity of life. If reproduction will not take place, life will not continue. Now we will see types of reproduction in plants. There are two types of reproduction in plants. First is asexual reproduction and second is sexual reproduction. First, asexual reproduction. See, it does not involve fusion of two gametes or sex cells. Male and female gametes are not involved. It does not involve what? Fusion of two gametes. There are no male and female gamete involved. There is only single parent. Okay, hence it is called as asexual reproduction because male and female gametes are not involved. In this process, the organism forms exactly same progeny like itself. As only one parent is involved, it will form exactly same progeny like itself. Okay, they are morphologically and genetically identical and hence they form the same copy. They are called as clone. Because only one parent is involved, they are morphologically and genetically identical. Now what is morphology? Morphology means structure and hence they are called as clones. Now we will see types of asexual reproduction. Types of asexual reproduction. First is fragmentation. See, they break into fragments due to one or other reason. They break into what? Fragments due to one or other reason. These fragments now grow into new individual. See this diagram. If this is diagram of Spirogyra, if it breaks from here, it will develop into new individuals, and this will grow as independent individual. Example is Spirogyra. Spirogyra is a multicellular organism. Okay. Next is budding. Most common in unicellular yeast. It is most commonly seen in unicellular yeast. Under favorable conditions, it forms one or more outgrowths, that is bud. Then these buds grow as new individual. See here. If this is parent yeast, first it will form a bulge, then it will form a new bud, and this new bud will separate from the parent cell and will grow as new individual or independent individual and will form one or more daughter cells. Next is spore formation. In Chlamydomonas, flagellated zoospores occurs which can grow independently into new individual. If you see in this diagram, this zoospores or this zoosporium has developed what? Flagella. Flagella is organ for movement or motility. This zoospore has developed flagella, and because of this flagella, this zoospore can come out and grow as an independent individual. Now other methods of asexual reproduction are binary fission. Next is binary fission. In this process, the parent cells, see this is not given in your textbook, so you can note down this thing. Binary fission. In this process, the parent cell divides to form two similar daughter cells. What happens here? The parent cells divide itself and forms two similar daughter cells. Example is amoeba and paramecium. See, amoeba divides in any plane due to lack of shape. Now as you know that amoeba is irregular in shape, because of irregular shape, it can divide into any plane. Amoeba does not have a specific shape, so it will divide into any plane. Hence it is called as binary fission. It will divide itself and form two daughter cells. Okay, and hence it is irregular in shape. It will divide in any plane. Hence it is called as simple binary fission. Next, paramecium. Paramecium divides transversely, so it is called as transverse binary fusion. After this, fifth one is conidia formation in penicillium. Conidia formation is same like that of spore formation, but here the spores are non-motile, seen in penicillium. Now penicillium is an organism which form penicillin. Now what is penicillin? Penicillin is an antibiotic used to treat certain bacterial diseases like pneumonia, syphilis, throat infection, meningitis, etc. Now pneumonia is caused by which bacteria? It is caused by Streptococcus pneumoniae. So these are the NEET questions. This can come for NEET. So please remember this. Sixth is gemmule formation in sponges. Gemmule formation is same like that of budding. After that, next topic is vegetative reproduction. Now this is the easiest one. Students, you can read this topic from your textbook. There is only one paragraph. You can read that paragraph and you will understand it. If you don't understand, if you have any doubt, you can ask. I will explain it. Okay. So now see what is what you have to read in vegetative reproduction. Reproduction with the help of root, stem and buds. What is vegetative reproduction? It is the reproduction with the help of root, stem, leaves and buds. Here you have to read cutting, grafting and tissue culture.
So now next topic is sexual reproduction in plants. See here, it involves fusion of two compatible gametes or sex cell, that is fusion of male and female gamete. But in asexual reproduction there was only one single parent, so there was no fusion of male and female gamete. But in sexual reproduction, as there are two compatible gametes, there is fusion of male and female gamete. It involves fusion of two gametes, okay? And it is seen in higher plants at the time of flowering. Sexual reproduction is seen in higher plants at the time of flowering. Next point is reproductive structure. So what is reproductive structure of plant? Reproductive structure of plant is flower. And function of flower is to produce haploid gamete and ensure that the fertilization takes place. What is the function of flower? To produce haploid gamete and ensure that the fertilization takes place. Now see what is fertilization. Fertilization is the process of formation of zygote after union of male and female gamete. Okay, after union of male and female gamete, a zygote is formed and this process is called as fertilization. Okay. Now flower consists of four different whorls. Four different whorls or four different parts. Flower consists of four different parts, that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Now androecium is the male part and gynoecium is the female part. Okay. Now sexual reproduction involves two major events. Now there are two main events in sexual reproduction of plants, that is meiosis and fusion of gametes. Now as we know, meiosis, what happens in meiosis? Meiosis gives rise to four haploid gametes. Okay. Now four haploid gametes will fuse together, and after fusion of this gamete, it will form a diploid zygote and produce a genetically dissimilar offspring. Okay. Meiosis will give rise to four haploid gametes. This haploid gamete will fuse together and this will form a diploid zygote and produce a genetically dissimilar offspring. As this is sexual reproduction, two gametes are involved. The offspring which is produced will be genetically dissimilar. Okay. But in asexual reproduction, because there is only single parent, the offspring which is produced, it is exactly same or clone of the parent. Okay. Now next is three stages of sexual reproduction. What are the three stages? Pre-fertilization, fertilization and post-fertilization. Okay. Now male reproductive whorl. What is the male reproductive part? That is androecium. It contains filament and anther, and filament and anther are together called as stamens. And female reproductive whorl is called as gynoecium. It contains style, stigma and ovary. You can refer your textbook for the diagram. See, this is stigma, this elongated part is style, and this is the ovary. Okay, and this three, style, stigma and ovary, is called as gynoecium or the female part. Now this is the anther and this is the filament. Anther and filament is togetherly called as androecium or male part. Okay. Now petals are called as corolla and sepal is called as calyx, and this is the pedicle. Refer your textbook for good diagram. Now structure of anther. Next topic is structure of anther. Now what happens in immature stage? Immature stage of anther is represented by group of parenchymatous tissue surrounded by epidermis. In immature stage, it is represented by group of parenchymatous tissue surrounded by epidermis. Now what is parenchymatous tissue? See, parenchymatous tissue does what? Makes photosynthetic tissues in leaves, pulp of fruit and endosperm of seeds. Okay, it will make what? Photosynthetic tissue in leaves, pulp in fruits and endosperm of seeds. Okay, this is NIT question. It can come for your NIT MCQ question. Now next, anther is dithecous. If anther is dithecous means two lobes. This is first lobe and this is the second lobe. Anther is dithecous means two lobe and tetrasporangiate. Tetrasporangiate means this 4 pollen sacs. Okay. And if monothecous anther, monothecous means only one lobe. If anther is monothecous, it has only 2 pollen sacs. Okay. And dithecous anther will contains 4 pollen sacs. Hence it is called as tetrasporangiate. Next is TS of anther, transverse section of anther. We will need this diagram also. Okay. Transverse section of anther. Archeosporal cells. Now what are archeosporal cells? These archeosporal cells are present in ovules. Now what is ovule? See, this is ovary, right? This is the ovary, and each ovary contains this small ovules. This small black dots are ovules. Each ovary contains this ovules. Now archeosporal cells are present inside this ovules. Now what happens? This archeosporal cells will divide into 2. That is inner sporogenous cells and outer primary parietal cell. Okay. Archeosporal cells will divide into inner sporogenous cell and outer primary parietal cell. Now inner sporogenous cell will form sporogenous tissue and give rise to microspore tetrad. See here in this diagram. Inner sporogenous cells will give rise to sporogenous tissue, this sporogenous tissue, and form micropore tetrad. 1, 2, 3, 4, this tetrad. Okay. Inner sporogenous cell will give rise to this sporogenous tissue and form microspore tetrad. Okay. And outer parietal cell will undergo division and form anther wall layers. Okay. Anther wall layers like epidermis, epidermis outer layer, then endothelium middle layer and tapetum. All those layers will be formed by this primary parietal cell. Okay. Now next is wall of mature anther consists of 4 layers. Now what are the 4 layers? Epidermis. Epidermis is the outermost protective layer made up of tabular cells. Epidermis is what? Outermost protective layer made up of tabular cell. Now as you know, outer layer of skin is also called as epidermis. After that it contains dermis and then muscle. Similarly in plants also, outer layer is epidermis, which is always protective and made up of tabular cells. Okay. Now second is endothelium, which is subepidermal. Subepidermal means it is just below the epidermis. Endothelium is subepidermal, made up of radially elongated cells with fibrous thickening. Okay. Then next is middle layer, made up of thin walled cell, 1 to 2 layered, may disintegrate into mature anther. Okay. Then last one is tapetum. The innermost layer, innermost nutritive layer is tapetum, which immediately covers the sporogenous tissue. So now next topic is microsporogenesis and development of male gametophyte.
See, now you need to understand what is microspore and what is microsporogenesis. Then you will understand the development of male gametophyte. Development of male gametophyte is the important question which is often asked in your exam. Now, microsporogenesis. See, microsporogenesis divides meiotically and form tetrad of haploid microspore, that is pollen grain. Now, what is microsporogenesis? Formation of pollen grain by meiotical division of microspore is called as microsporogenesis. Formation of pollen grain by meiotical division of microspore is called as microsporogenesis. Formation of pollen grain by meiotical division of microspore is called as microsporogenesis. Okay, now we will see structure of microspore. कैसा होता है माइक्रोस्पोर? माइक्रोस्पोर इज नॉन मोटाइल हैप्लॉइड यूनिसेल्युलर विद सिंगल न्यूक्लियस. It is non-motile haploid unicellular with single nucleus. Then it is surrounded by two layer. It has two layer wall which is called as sporoderm. Each microspore has a two layer wall which is called as sporoderm. See here, each microspore has two layer wall which is called as sporoderm. Outer layer is called as exine, which is thick, made up of complex non-biodegradable substance called as sporopollenin. Outer layer is exine, thick, made up of complex non-biodegradable substance called as sporopollenin. They may be smooth or with sculptured pattern. It is resistant to chemicals. At some places exine is thin and that area is known as germ pore. At some places exine is thin and that place is called as germ pore. Now what is germ pore? Germ pore is the place from where the pollen tube emerges. Germ pore is the place from where the pollen tube emerges during the time of during germination of pollen grain. Okay, germ pore is the place from where pollen tube emerges, and the inner layer is called as intine, which consists of cellulose and pectin. Okay, now next is development of male gametophyte. Now as you know, microspore is the first cell in development of male gametophyte. Microspore will be the first cell in the development of male gametophyte. See here, microspore divides meiotically and produces what? Pollen grain. Okay, microspore divides meiotically and forms pollen grain. Now this pollen grain will divide mitotically and form a mature male gametophyte. Okay, microspore divides meiotically and forms pollen grain. Now pollen grain will divide mitotically and form a mature male gametophyte. Okay, now microspore is the first cell in development of male gametophyte. Okay, if this is the structure of microspore or pollen grain, then this is the first cell for development of male gametophyte. Now see the structure of pollen grain or microspore. It has outer wall that is called as exine, inner wall which is called as intine, nucleus, and the floating substance which is called as cytoplasm. Okay, now what happens here? The nucleus of microspore or pollen grain, the nucleus will start dividing. Okay, you can see here in this diagram, in diagram B, the nucleus will start dividing into two, will start dividing and will form two separate nucleus, and each separate nucleus will have a separate cell. Okay, the nucleus is divided, right? Each nucleus is dividing. This nucleus will divide into two and each nucleus will have a separate cell. The newly produced cell is called as generative cell and the older cell is called as vegetative cell. Okay, see, microspore's nucleus will what happened to the nucleus of microspore or pollen grain? The nucleus will start dividing, will divide into two nucleus and each nucleus will have its separate cell. The newly produced cell is called as generative cell and the older cell is called as vegetative cell. Now generative cell is, now here you can see the generative cell is attached to the wall of vegetative cell and is floating into the cytoplasm of vegetative cell. But for further development now, the generative cell needs its separate wall. Now what will happen? Now generative cell will start producing wall around itself. See in this diagram, you can see here, it has produced a separate free generative cell with separate generative nucleus. Okay, now generative cell will produce wall around itself and it will generate a separate free generative cell with separate nucleus. This is the vegetative cell. And what is this? This is the germ pore. Okay. Now in next, further what will happen? This generative cell will start dividing into male gametes, non-motile male gametes. This generative cell will start dividing into non-motile male gametes, and the germ pore and the pollen tube will emerge from this germ pore. What will happen from here? From this germ pore, the pollen tube will start emerging from the germ pore. Now this male gametophyte, firstly this vegetative nucleus will come into the pollen tube. Okay, this vegetative nucleus will come into the pollen tube, and after that the male gametes which are formed from the generative cells will come into the pollen tube. Now as this vegetative nucleus or tube nucleus is not going to enter further into the stigma, this vegetative nucleus is not going to enter further into the stigma, so this will undergo degeneration. The vegetative nucleus will undergo degeneration, and this male gametophytes along with pollen tube will enter into the style, stigma and ovary and undergo the process of fertilization. Okay. अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा हो, हेल्पफुल लगा हो, तो प्लीज़ जो लाइक, कमेंट, शेयर एंड ऑल्सो डू सब्सक्राइब. थैंक यू.